Happy Labor Day. Just got back from the can return, and it was a very pleasant experience. I did everything right. I took 8 empty 30 packs of Pabst, which I usually put in quite well, and it is, you can count on it being 30. They ride better that way. And I took 10 soda bottles off the floor of my car. So it's 25. That's right where we're at. 25-day limit, one household or group, you know. And the can return was a place I noticed most when people were losing their minds in the beginning of shit. You know, in the first third of it, first quarter, or whatever you call it. I don't know. But I walked right in. All the machines were working. I prepped my boxes and started going to work on the cans. And there were 2 other guys there. And the guy in the middle was this old Japanese man in a suit, wearing it casually, like it's his everyday wear, you know? And we were all doing our cans, and then for some reason he said to the guy behind him, "Thank you." And the guy said something back, which sparks conversation. And so we're all in there just talking really pleasantly and doing our cans. And then that old Japanese guy, he left. I said, "Yeah, okay, goodbye." He talked to me like I was an old friend. I don't know. It can't be this. If he were Japanese, he would hate the Chinese. Yeah, the Chinese hate the Japanese more than the Japanese hate the Chinese. I'm thinking the Japanese think lesser of the Chinese, so they don't spend as much emotion on them. They could be better used on their family or a whore. You know, they have things in line, I think. Oh, that's China. I don't know. So he left, and another guy came in, pleasant fella, started talking, and we're talking, and he says, "Yeah, just thought this would be a good day to do it." After we talked friendly for a while, you know, I don't know what I look like to people, but they talk to me. I don't, you know, and he says, "Thought it would be a good day to do this." Because it's Labor Day, you know, Monday morning. People are wore out from the weekend. They just got to wake up some point here. If they're waking up this early, they're probably having a drink to, you know, just the afterburner type thing. And I said, "Yeah, come in on Labor Day." That's what he's saying. Good time for it. And it was. And I said, "Yeah." I used to think if I came in on Sunday morning when people should be in church, it would work out pretty well, but it seems other people have caught on to that because it's pretty full then sometimes. And then he just clammed right up. So I was sitting there talking with a true believer, and he didn't even know that I was on the other side, but I'm not. I'm just doing this. I just like walking with my arms out, and there's no place better to do it than on a fence, you know. And so then I go in, I have a pleasant experience, I'm looking around and getting my Drano and my deodorant. You don't want them stinking up before you can bubble them all up, you know, whatever. I don't know how they do it. Some people make things. And then I took my can slips, and the thing is, the checkout is mayhem because they don't have the help they need, and there are lines. But the self-checkout was moving right through, and I was like, "That's great." And I pulled out these 5 things of can return slips because it always wants to shut off on you and things like that. So you got 5. And I'm like, "Hey," and you can't even do them yourself anymore in there. They have to have a person with a code do it. Yeah. And If you throw it away without checking it, then you lost it. If you try to check it twice, it won't allow you to. So what's the problem with me doing it myself? That I have to get this from. And she's standing there and she's talking and she is busy, but she's acting busy and she knows how busy she is. And I think she's thinking, I deserve something for this. And I hear her go boop, 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 boop. And she says, okay. And she says, your change will come out down there. And I'm like, I only heard 4 go. And all of a sudden, clank, 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 there are no bills. And I look and it's like 56 cents. I see, it's not right. And I don't care. I knew I'd be getting money back with what I returned versus what I purchased. And normally, if I thought somebody needed $10 more than me, they could have it. And it may have been an honest mistake. But she was still holding those slips when I caught her a minute later after looking over my receipt. And the thing is, if that was all it was that she needed $10 more than I did, that's one thing. But I'm the one that did the work to get these $10 back in my hand after my purchases. I'm the one that drank the beer. I did the work. And she's going to be taking my money like that. Then it's like she has me working for her. I don't work for anybody unless I decide to. You can't take that shit away from me. And so I looked, and I acted like I was dumb. And she was getting called over. I said, hey, I got something. And she's like, And then she's getting called over. I said, go ahead. She's like, no. I was as polite as I could be and stupid. And I said, no, I was sure I brought in $25 in cans exactly, and a few of those weren't filled, so it should have been $24.70 I was getting. I said, can you tell me where the price of my items are here? She's like, yeah. She said $4.19, $4.49, $4.49, and I said, yeah. She said, that's only 12 or 13 bucks. I said, do you still have those slips? I feel like, and she's like, 1, 2, and she sat them down and she looked at every one of them that was on the receipt here. That there's a 50 cent, 5.80, 50 cents, 10 cents, 79 cents, shit like that. That's fucking just when it shuts off on you, and she gets the one and I said, I feel like there's like $10 missing or something. And she got the one that had the $10 slip on it. And she says, oh, there it is. And she said, I just wasn't. And she says, beep, beep. She said, no, here you go. And took out a 10 and gave it to me. And I said, pretty slick, lady. You just keep those until you see me walk out the door, walk around with them, because you are busy and probably not getting paid enough, but you can't put me to work for you to make the extra wage you need to get by. And yeah, I got my money. So that was still a good experience. A $10 bill. She's doing quite well holding on to those things until it gets slow enough that she can act like she's doing something. Beep, and there's a $10 right into her fucking pocket with the other wad. She probably only keeps $10 receipts. She made a mistake of doing it to somebody that knew he was getting change, and will ask questions when he doesn't understand a situation completely. That's a dangerous person to have around if you're trying to screw someone. And so then I went out the parking lot, and there was some guy next to me. Started talking. Oh, there was another guy on the way. We started talking Italian and Spanish, and he said something, and I thought he was speaking Spanish before he took his mask off. And I said, Bienvenido a Isla Fantastico. Me llamo es Ricardo Gapinski, and this is fine Caribbean leather. And he looked, he said, oh, you speak Espanol? And I said, oh, he said, just a little bit. I said, you. And he says, oh, no, just a little bit. He says, in Italiano, it's close. So he's an old Italian man. I understand how close it is. And we were walking out the lot, and finding out he was Italian, and I said, Excusa, dove le figa? And he says, what? I saw it's something a friend of mine that spent time in Italy in the army when we were back in the States. He taught me, "Excusa, dove le figa?" And he says, "Excuse me, where's your daughter?" And I said, that is so funny, because when Ricky Scarborough taught me "Scusa, dove le figa," he told me it meant, "Excuse me, where's the pussy?" But as it turns out, it's "Where's your daughter?" I said, "Oh my gosh," I said, "that makes it even worse." And he's like, "Yes, it is not a good thing." And he walked off. And I said, "Ha, let's go." And I got over by my car and I was putting stuff, and not much to it. It doesn't take me long to get talking to somebody. But there was another guy that started talking about stock and how the Kroger's taken over, and we're just having a talk, and we made jokes, and he was saying, "You're absolutely correct." I'm like, it's always surprising, isn't it? Strangers can see it, why can't you? But I got in my car and hit the road. It was a very good day for the can return. Get used to it. September 18th coming.